Hello, we're back. I think that's good. That way, if my daughter, my son, any of them come and walk by, we won't be affected. Okay, they can even do that in private. How's everybody doing today? I don't know, y'all. I'm just trying to get my trying to get right on some real, okay? For real though. Listen. There's so much going on, y'all. Behind the scenes, there's so much going on. Deep within. Okay? Something is really happening. Okay? Not just in the world, but inside of us. Diving for light. These cards, he talking to me straight. Okay? Directly. No ifs and buts about it. Okay? So we got Diving for Light out. From my Sacred Rebels deck. Diving for Light, number 11. Right, just that alone. Diving for Light, number 11. And then we got this Healing from my mermaid deck. Messages for mermaids. Okay. And got a little tarot out here. Got my notes out here. Got, you know, some scriptures, some words, some confirmation. Okay, some clarity. Okay, Emmanuel is with us today. The sun is shining on our situation. The sun is shining in our souls so that we can become whole. Okay? One. Okay, they say universe means the song of one. Yeah. Harmony. Oneness. Make them one as we are one. And it looks like what has to happen first is that cutoff, that separation from that circumcision. You know, when God cuts you off, cut away what is no longer needed, what cannot even exist in this realm, in this atmosphere, in this glory. It can't even pass. It's like a ring of fire between you and it, an atmosphere of fire. A ring, I'm even seeing like a wedding ring, a oneness, a commitment between you and God. It's like certain, anything not like him, anything that is not pure of heart, the pure in heart shall see God. It cannot pass. Anything that is separated from him. And I always say that hell, to me, you know, the energy, the spirit of, however you want to say it, put it. The reality of hell for me. And I even think that it was this way for Jesus, because he said, you know, Lord, why when he was on the cross and God turned his back, you know what I'm saying? Because he had to. That was a part of, you know, him paying for all the sins, you know, him carrying the whole cross of what needed to be, you know, bared. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their cross to bear. It was part of his cross to bear, to have God turn his back on him, on the sin, because he became sin. He who had no sin became it in order to be that sacrifice, that pure and holy Lamb of God that he is, you know, where he sacrificed his life, paid the whole price to redeem us from the consequences of sin. So the consequence of sin, the wages of sin is death, and that is separation from God eternally. From my understanding, what I believe, okay? Eat the meat, spit out the bones. You don't have to take nothing from this table that is not good for you, okay? Miss Aquita just here sharing and caring, okay? Coming from a heart of care and concern and okay, oneness, okay? If you heal, I'm healed. If I'm healed, you heal. You got keys, I got keys. If I got keys, we riding, okay? This is my heart. This is where I'm coming from with all of this. Just giving you what I got. Might not be for you. Might not have no use for it. If you don't, it is fine, child. It is fine. It's okay. But I have to show up and relate it in this way. Because how it's coming to me. It's the understanding that I have of it, okay? In all honesty. Okay. So, again. The sun's light. The sun's shine is moving in. Let there be light over the waters. I'm going back to Genesis. Let there be light when he spoke over the void, over the blackness, over the darkness, over the evil, over the nothingness that this world was before he said anything over it, okay? It's like that's how he's doing us. They say that we are, I don't even know what the percentage is, but mostly water. And God is speaking over our sorrow, over our pain, over our loss, over what we're grieving, over our regrets, over our disappointments. Okay? Before the world, according to Genesis, before the world began to be, before God thought it consciously, this world was uninhabitable, okay? Nobody could live here. Nobody could live in it, on it. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. He spoke it all into existence. He created it all. And God said, and God said, and God said. And whatever God said, it was. That's why I always remind myself and I say, I'm good. Because that spirit of perfectionism could try to come in and have you always, nitpicking at yourself like the environment that you come from. And I mean from the inception of you come from. If you came from a background where they were judgmental, where they were critical, where they were, and will ostracize you for it or, just torture you to death about it. I'm declaring and decreeing over myself, over the earthen vessel that I am, that I'm enough, that I'm good enough. I'm good. God wants to use me. He obviously has something for me to do. Okay? Something in mind, someone in mind that he has created me to be. And I am diving deep, okay, for the light of that life so that I can have not only, my life, I'm here, but have that life more abundantly. I know what to do with me. And the first thing he's doing, in this spread, it's like breaking bread and we have a spread, okay? I prepared the table in the presence of your enemies. Okay, this table, if it was food, it would just be a feast. Fit for queens and kings. He is inviting us in. Come eat with no money. Come drink with no, okay? Just come as you are. Get what's good for you out of all he got to give. So it says diving for light, number 11. We also have healing here. So and I was hearing this song, wade in the waters, wade in the waters, children, wade in the waters, 'cause God's gonna trouble the waters. He say, just wade in it. Just wade in it. Ando goshite. Just wade in it. Iko namasikete. Just stay afloat. Iko no mosikete. Iko no mosikete. Don't go under. Look at them. Just stay afloat. Wade in the waters. Wait on God. Wait on God. And I can see Harriet Tubman, the movie. And that was at the end, right before the revolution, okay? Right before we finna fight for our freedom. And I mean all of this that I'm saying, everything that I'm saying is for entertainment purposes, and I am spiritually speaking, okay? So don't come for me, government. Do not come for me, okay? You're going to run right into him. But metaphorically speaking, metaphysically speaking, come on. Harriet Tubman. That was the song, the last song that she sung right before, I don't know what type of was it Civil War? I'm not sure. But I'm talking spiritual. I'm telling you right now that this war that I'm talking about is spiritual, beginning within the self, within your own life, and just living that life, to the extent where it affects the world. Butterfly effect. So in this first little bit with diving deep, healing, okay, diving deep. That thing had been going on. This war for the end of slavery. Yeah, and when I say that, just meaning, I think God is like, it's like Exodus. It's like being able to go to a place where we can worship him, where we can love him freely, where we can, we ain't bowing down nobody but him. We declaring and decreeing that he is king, he is Lord of lords. Okay? This world is his, and everything in it is his, and we as his children have decided to be free indeed in it. We're believing it, we're speaking it, we're exercising it, you understand? We're living it. And the sorrow, diving deep to heal, to deal with the grief, allowing the sun's light. Let me read this healing, what I got out of the book for healing. Got 2 note cards. It says, healing for you and the world. So the healing that's happening within us is going to affect the world as well. The world, if it ain't nothing but the world you live in, your neighborhood, your community, your society, your household. Okay? It says, set aside the time. And the key with this healing is sunlight. See how the sun shining down on them? The sun rays are just beaming down on them. Okay. So sunlight is key. It says, set aside the time for self-healing, okay? Before we can heal anybody else, we got to heal ourselves. And that's what we come here to do. That's what this space is here. This is why I created this space, for me to do this in. Anybody want to join me? Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome. Come in. Let's sup. Let's break bread. Let's do it. Let's support one another. Let's encourage one another. So that we can get, all that God got for us. Life and that life more abundantly. It says, set aside the time for self-healing. Welcome and allow healing to flow into your life. Okay? All we got to do is welcome and allow the healing of the sun's light to flow into our lives, or share your healing energy with others. Listen so others feel loved and can be transformed. Okay, this healing is of the mind, the body, the spirit, so that we can see it affected in our physical bodies and in our world. Okay, and in the world around us. It's healing for those close to you as well as yourself. Like I say, if it ain't nowhere but in your household, you deserve to be healed. Know that. God wants to heal. He wants to heal us. It says be receptive on a subconscious. All that water, that deep diving deep is subconscious level. The emotions, we've been talking about this blue moon. Once in a lifetime opportunity. Don't happen often, but here it is. And here we are in this day and in this time, having the opportunity to experience it, to work with it. You understand? God, whatever you're doing, don't do it without me type attitude. Feel it, believe it. We have the opportunity to feel it, to believe for this healing of the sun's light, of the sun's shine, of the spirit of life itself. So that we are whole and free from all dis-ease. Whole and free from all dis-ease. This is the healing that he's offering us. Sunlight is a powerful source of healing energy. Sunlight, the sun's light, is a powerful source of healing energy. As you freely receive the benefits of the sun's light, take it to the streets and share. See? Share. Once you get it, share it. And share the love so others can enjoy the energizing feeling of being uplifted. Prioritize time for self-care. Okay? Yeah. Self-care first. Prioritize it. Time for self-care and healing. So you'll be able, see, once you're energized, okay, and uplifted yourself, then you'll be able to face the world again with what? With vigor and the enthusiasm of the sun. With the vigor and the enthusiasm of the sun. When we think about when Christ was here, when we read about it, even if you just look at it as a story, watch it as, think about it as if it was a movie. Okay? You can still benefit. He was always, going into a city and healing them all. He was always giving, always generous, always caring, always sharing, always loving, always compassionate. Not always, because there were times when he'd be like, that ain't for you. But even then, that woman said, even the dogs get the crumbs. So he was, always healing. The blind, the lame. Come on, helping people, those that who can't see, don't have clarity. He was giving them clarity. Those who couldn't walk, on their own, you know what I'm saying, or didn't know what to do to make the next step. Yeah, he was helping them out. Always showing the way shower. Always bearing good fruit. Okay, so two cards we have out here. What's the name of this deck? This deck is called the Threads of Karma. And it's a deck for healing, closure, and soul lessons. Healing, closure, and soul lessons. And we see the chains breaking. Okay, we believing for that, Lord. Break these chains, these generational curses. Help us. We want the healing. Teach us how to bring closure and clear the way so we can get the soul's lessons. So the two cards that go with the diving for light. It's funny, diving for the light. Diving for the light. Instead of going up. Because, here we dive in, going within ourselves. That's why I say as within, so without. As above, so below. We going within, diving deep for the light. For it to be as it is above, within us, to the depths of us, to the core of us. This is what we're asking for, seeking, believing. And so it says, let go of what could have been. This is the grief, the healing work. Because it's a grief. Grief often hides in the story of what didn't happen. Grief often hides in the story of what didn't happen. Release the almost. Here's what we need to do. Release what? Release the almost and return to the now. Release the almost and return to the now. The next card says, let me show you what that looks like. Release the almost. Let go of what could have been. Coulda, woulda, shoulda. I am so in the depths of these waters with y'all. Okay? Doing the work right alongside of you. It says, make peace with the past. You don't have to rewrite the story. Just stop fighting the chapter. Peace begins with acceptance. Peace begins with acceptance. And I'm just feeling like, this right here could be something personal, a marriage. In my case, it would be this one. Because it's just you and it. That you got the teddy bear. You know what I'm saying? But just you and it. And then this is family. I had to let go of family. People that I really, truly, with everything in me, loved. And love. And it's not just ED, but it was like when I was in their lives, I was able to love them actually. Now I got to love them from a distance. Making peace with the past. Those that have passed. My brother passed away at 23 years old, right before 7 days before his 24th birthday of an asthma attack. Letting that go. So I don't try to replace him, okay, with a marriage or with somebody. Yeah, can't do that. What was, it was. Accept that it was and it is no more. God chose, God decided. Each and every one of us have our days. God know time you gonna enter and the time you gonna exit. That's why we gotta live. David said, "Teach me to number my days," because you never know. There are no guarantees. He don't guarantee you anything today, right now. So we diving deep for that sun's light so that we can live like Christ lived. He died at 33, or laid down his life, if you would, at 33. Didn't get married, didn't have children. You understand what I'm saying? So, yeah, we have to be grateful for the time that God does give us with our loved ones. This is what he taught me about my brother and dealing with, the fact that he's no longer here with me. And I was just telling my kids, my young adults, 22 and 24 here at the house, that, I love, just being able to be with them, enjoy, you know what I'm saying? Whether we just sitting in the kitchen talking about what happened in the day, or, you know what I'm saying? Sharing a meal, one of our favorite meals together. It's like I'm getting to experience them as adults. And that was one of the things that I really was grieving about, my brother passing away so early. Like, man, we didn't even get to do this. We didn't get to do that, Just enjoy each other as adults. But God, because I know I've done a lot of healing. I don't know why this light is turning. Maybe it's because of the sun and how it's coming in. Come through, though. Come through. We'll take this gold hue. We'll take it. But maybe it's because, I've done the work. I've dove deep. I've cried to God about it. Feel me? I've cried to him about it. I've talked to him about it. I've screamed, shouted, everything. Wrote about it. All that. So now he's allowing me to see what I still have. What's still with me. Was still with me. What has God provided? Look at the little flower down here. Something right in, She probably holding on to this bear, symbolically. As if it was it, Maybe it was, whoever she grieving over. Whatever she grieving over. Somebody to have and to hold. But right before her is something that is alive. Something she can, if she water it, it'll grow. And she can, if it's nothing else but just, I tended to that flower. So look at it, got so big. I didn't even know it was a tree. I'm just saying, perspective. It can grow. It can respond to you. It's alive. Here in the now. Here is just in your thoughts, in your spirit, God is, the sunlight is here. The sun's light is here to speak positively over our lives. So that we can emerge from the depths of our emotional selves with all the lessons and the life that, we're learning. He's teaching. He's giving. More clarification. We have the Five of Cups. the Seven of Pentacles, the King of Cups, and the Ace of Wands. God's gonna trouble the waters. Yeah. Yeah, something good finna come out of this. We made the investments. You know, we made the investment in having a relationship, you know what I'm saying, with Christ. This is my Christ card, okay? And this is, I always think of Moses putting the staff in the water and parting the Red Sea. All that we done cried over, all the years, all the hurt, all the blood, sweat, and tears. You know, we've invested in ourselves and in others. But it didn't work out. You know, something died. Or you had to let it go. Form of death. You know that it cannot be anymore. It is not alive. It is not with us. It is not for us. In some cases, it was just against you. Accepting that. Accepting it. Crying. Do what you got to do over it. But don't forget that it's not the end. While you're sitting, while you're diving deep. Yes, there's grief. Yes, there's loss. And even regret. Disappointment. However, it says, yet all is not lost. All is not lost. We in the wading in the water, talking about it, welling over it like the woman at the well. Yeah, it happened. It didn't happen. Okay. But there's hope. The sun. The sun. If we looked at this card as Christ, with that maturity, how he makes these, yeah, I had to become mature. In my thinking, in my feeling, in my emotions. Intelligent even. Emotionally intelligent. To understand. And to be able to let God have his way. To be inspired. To, you know what I mean? New beginnings. Okay? New. You can begin again. All is not lost. God's gonna trouble the waters. He's stirring deep within us. He's letting us know, girl, you done sowed 7 years of seed, okay, into that situation. Get ready, get ready, get ready. Get ready. Stay ready. Okay? Expect the light. Expect the sun's light. Okay? That fire to shine. That new beginning, okay, it's mature. Something has matured, okay? Something has matured, and it's you. And it's you. And it's us. And we're ready. We're ready for this new beginning. We're at the threshold, it says, of a new venture, okay? New life. New life. New way of living. New way of doing. New way of being. Your passion, okay? All this passion is fire. Your passion is key. It's what unlocks. And it says it. It says your passion is key to unlocking what's next. Okay? With that 5 of Cups, we got to keep our eyes on what's next. What's next? Okay, God. What's next? For me, I left 3, but then I still had my 2 children here. My 2 young adults here. Okay, turn towards that. Keep watering that. Keep shining on that. Inspiring that. Okay? Uplifting that. Engaging with that. With them. Whatever they got going on. Okay? All is not lost. All is not lost. You've been patient. Okay? And God saying patient in the investment. I know it's saying that to me. You were patient during those 7 years of investing. Okay, it's a harvest. This card says harvest. Okay, keep your eyes on the harvest, on what's left, on what like Jake say, what remains after the transaction. Keep your eyes on that. It says results require time and hard work. Prioritize sustainable growth over instant rewards. Okay? The rewards have not been instant. But you've been growing steadily. You've been sustaining, you understand, that growth through hard work and being patient, allowing patience to have its perfect work within you. Oh, yes. Allowing patience, which we know is a fruit of the spirit. Okay, we talking about his fruit. Okay, you see these new buds. We talking about his fruit. Everything that you sowed, whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. If you've been sowing into your relationship with the way, the truth, the life, the light, okay, trying to see things positively, trying to do things in a diplomatic way, operating according to wise counsel, allowing the Father's Son to father you, okay, discipline you even when it's when it was necessary. Because sometimes God will come to you like he did to Samuel about Saul and be like, stop crying over them, okay? Before I give you something to cry for. You know what I mean? Stop crying over him. I don't want to hear nothing about it. Don't talk to me about it no more. And that is a discipline because you just whining and crying about the same thing. What already done happened. Now, sometimes you hear me repeat, particles, pieces of the past because it's out here. So God obviously want me to talk about it, deal with it, use examples of it. But it's for the learning. It's for the growth. It's for the new. We can learn from the old and step into that new. We can talk about what enslaved us and what made us sad and sorrowful and miserable even. Okay? So that we can, accept, put our hand on top of God's hand with that staff and say, okay, God, what we doing? That's what Moses did. God said, what is in your hand? What did I put in your hands to do with the situation, with the circumstances? With the people, the places, the things, okay? Yeah, work with me. He said, work with me. Work with me. Work with me. Let's do something together. Okay? Invest in me what you invested in them and watch what I do with it. See if I don't part the Red Sea for you. See if I won't make a way out of no way for you. See if I won't, okay, open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing you ain't even got. Look at the heavens look open. Look like an open heaven. Not by might nor by power, but by his spirit. See, you just been sowing and waiting, sowing and waiting, sowing and waiting, being patient, speaking, positively. Sunlight. Over it, emotion, and keeping your emotions in check. Waiting on God, but by his spirit. Waiting on God by his spirit because Moses could stick that staff in that water all he wanted to all day. If God wasn't with him in the way that he wasn't nothing gonna happen. You just gonna have a wet stick. No pun intended, but you just gonna have a wet stick. It's just nothing. You're not gonna produce nothing. You hear me? You're not going to produce nothing. This is what the relationships that we had before. That's why we were sorrowful. Because, we doing all the do's, all the deeds, sowing all the seeds. But what we talked about in the last message, God was talking to us about people being spiritually impotent. The people that you were dealing with were spiritually impotent. So you were disappointed constantly because you're doing the work. But who you was working with didn't have nothing to work with. Spiritually speaking. Spiritually impotent. So ain't nothing, you can't produce nothing. No fruit. No fruit. No fruit. Just a big fat disappointment. Did all that sowing and you know what I'm saying, emotional, yeah, son, everything Jesus Christ came to do, you was doing it and doing it well. Okay? How I know that is because we got this Ace of Wands where God coming in and like, I got you. I got you. I got you. Okay? Man, you go, let's co-create with me. Cooperate with me. Give me what you gave him and watch what I do with it. See if I don't heal you and everything around you. Inspiration, giving birth, conception. We actually finna have something around here. We actually finna see the fruit of our labor and be able to enjoy it. Because you're dealing with Christ and people who are Christ-like. Okay? Mature leaders. Mature leadership. People who are balanced in their feelings. Okay? And in their intellect. They're emotionally intelligent. Able to maintain grace in the face of turbulence. Okay? They're not losing their cool, going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Doing crazy stuff. None of that. None of that is happening. So you're not going to be disappointed. Let's just take it down. Because that's over. That's a wrap. Okay? We looking forward. We looking ahead. God is inviting us in. He's saying, open the door. Let me in. Okay? Let the light dive deep. Penetrate you. Spiritually speaking, but think about it. If you got to think about it naturally and physically and human, you know, however you got to think about it, feel about it, so you can get it. Do what you got to do. Okay? He wants to engage with us emotionally. Engage. He wants to dive deep into the depths of our very being, to the core, to the DNA of us. Cooperate, co-create. Women, we ought to be able to receive this easily. Okay? He wants to plant himself. Everything that he is, everything that he represents within us. Ekoni. Just like you did with them. He want to do that for you. Okay? So you can come through. And everything he got for you can come through. Okay? And then before we know it, we ain't got just a tree of life. We got a grove. We got a hickory grove. Okay? We got a hickory grove. That's what we want. Okay? Seed that's going to matter. Seed that's potent. Okay? Seed that's going to bear good fruit. Okay, if you young and young enough and in a relationship or a marriage and y'all finna have babies, we finna have beautiful babies like we talked about Job when God gave him that new. Had 3 daughters and seven sons. Okay, that new. After he restored everything. After he had lost everything, went through the trials and tribulations, being tried and found to be true. After he was tried and found to be true. I'm trying to put this in this little slot. But yeah, after he had been tried and found, after he had been tried, Job, we always talk about the patience of Job. Thank you, Holy Ghost. We talk about the patience of Job. You had to be so patient. Patient. That's why you didn't hurt nobody. You had the patience of Job. The mind of Christ that said we're going to endure to the end. Maturity. It was turbulence waters. A storm. If you would. If you will. Okay? But for your good. Yeah. For your good. It all happened for your good. So you could see the good that's in you. So you could see how mature you were, how patient you were. After Job went through all that, oh yeah. And then what God would do, how God will reward you with a new beginning. 7 sons and 3 daughters. And they were not just 3 daughters, but the most beautiful daughters in the land. Okay? Good fruit. Good fruit. Everything was flourishing around Job's. This is spiritual 7. Spiritual number 7. Go from the 5 to 7. Okay? God is in the business of blessing you, not by might nor by power, but by his spirit. I don't know what number the King of Cups is, but I'm seeing 3 and looking at this as 1. Okay? And even if we did the 7 over here, 7 sons, all that seed for them to get married and have more children. Yeah, he was wealthy, generational wealth. What we talking about and where we going? The spiritual inheritance. Everything that God did for him was definitely saying, this is my son in whom I am well pleased. Okay, we want him to say that about us. This is my daughter in we want our life to reflect that. What people know, oh, God is with her. I want them to know on this level too. This level. Yeah. Be able to see it all around me and my children and me and my children and their children and their children and their dogs and their pets. Okay. Yeah. All around me in my business. Come on. All around me. Everything I got is good. Everything God gave me. Every God-given thing. Christ came that I might have life and that life more abundantly. But the thief cometh to steal, kill, and destroy and leave you like that. You just got to know who to open the door for. Okay? We opening it up for Christ. He's knocking on the doors of our heart. Can my light come in? He's asking. He's a gentleman. Holy Spirit is a gentleman. He's asking, can I come in? Can I come in and comfort you? Add some light, shed some light, shine some light on your situation, on your soul. That you would become whole again. Job. All you got to do is let go. Let go of what is no more. Job lost a lot. I told y'all everything. Okay? But when the time changed, when the time came for change, it wasn't time to think about that no more. Okay, we were ready to go. He went into his wife. He knew his wife again, afresh, anew. They done healed all that, whatever. Okay, and here they go, having 10 more children. Okay, it was happy times, happy days. Okay. He was not spiritually impotent. He was spiritually potent. Okay? Not by might. Again, emphasis on this. It's a spiritual time. Time when we see God in our lives. The pure in heart shall see God in their lives, just like Job did. So have your spiritual eyes open. So that you can say yes. Yes, Lord. If I were you, I would say yes. Speak, Lord, speak to me. Okay, speak. I was so blind. I was so lost until he spoke to me. Speak, my Lord. Y'all know it. Yeah. Can't sleep at night. And you wonder why. Maybe God is trying to tell you something. You cried all night long. Something done gone wrong. But maybe God is trying to tell you something. Maybe, come on y'all, God is trying with everything Miss Aquita doing. Maybe God is trying to tell you something in every way he can, with a song, a dance, a story, a memory. Because if you don't hear him knocking, you may choose to stay. In sorrow, in misery. Be around here with the rest of them wanting some company. Now I'm telling you right now, Christ ain't coming. I ain't coming. Christ in me ain't coming to sit with misery just so we can have some company. That's not what's happening. That's not what time we in. We rejoicing. We rejoicing. We celebrating our healing in every area of our lives. You're not just celebrating your healing, but everybody around you. This is what time and dispensation, the glory of God. Have your way in this place, oh God. Have your way in this place, Yes, God, down to the depths of me, down to the DNA of me. Have your way. That's Seven of Pentacles, talking about investments and patience and long term. See, Job was investing in his relationship with God. Through everything that he went through, he was investing in his relationship. So now he ain't even got to do nothing. But do what he want to do. Do what you want to do. Play in the sun. Do whatever you want to do. Whatever is healing for you. Because God doing the heavy work. It's his spirit that's going to cause, whatever he got planned to happen. So confirming these, we got really is confirming this first one is confirming this Five of Cups, okay? And it says, know God. See, I've been talking about having God in your life, in your heart. The pure in heart shall see God in their lives. Okay? But this right here says, know God leads to nowhere. This is why they can't go. They like Cain in nowhere land. Okay? Where God put them. God had to separate Cain. Send him to nowhere land, to wander. Since you want to kill, steal, and destroy. Yeah, and now you know what else too? Even with everything I'm saying, it's discipline. It's spiritual discipline. Yeah, God is, okay, whooping ass and taking names, okay? Yeah, it's all of that's happening. For us, this is a good thing. Because he opening doors, he opening red seas, he making ways out of no way. We having spiritual babies around here. We getting, okay, we are being penetrated with the light, with the love of God. Jesus was the epitome of the love of God. He is sowing into us. Those of us who are his good seeds, like his sons, his daughters. Yeah. He's causing things to happen in our lives supernaturally. And we're grieving that. You're grieving even not being able to take these people with you, but they can't go. Because they got something in them that want to kill, steal, and destroy. They chose. God give us all free will. He didn't make Cain or Abel do anything. Free will. Adam and Eve, free will. I told you, he advised them. If I was you, I wouldn't pick nothing up off that tree. I wouldn't eat nothing from his hand. I wouldn't make no deals with him, but free will. And he told them what was going to happen too. You're going to be sad. You're going to be mad. It's going to be bad. Going to have to get them consequences of spiritual ass whooping. If you do, but it's on you. What you want to do? Are you a son? Are you a son? Are you mature? Only sons. Sonship is for the mature. Before you become a son, you just a servant. Right? You just serving. You're serving. But when you mature in God like Job did, you become a son. Okay? Son of the living God. So everything you touch, it prospers. Nothing is a disappointment. This is in the background. This is old, dead, and even gone. Okay? Everything you do, everything you touch, it prospers. Because your will is aligned with God's will. God done been able to test Job's heart to see if it was pure. So yeah, Job got a new beginning. And we talked the other, you need to go back and listen to that if you feel led to. Because yeah, he was blessed and highly favored. Or look it up online. What happened? After God tested Job, what was his life like? And you're going to see that he was blessed and highly favored, okay? Blessed and highly favored. And that's what we want to be. Okay, these are, when I think about Job and I talk about David and Jesus even. Because I believe that I'm adopted, you know what I'm saying, into the family of God. And it's just my belief and how I'm looking at it. But yeah, these are my ancestors. These are my ancestors. I go back and read what they wrote and what they experienced, what they went through and how they went through it. It's not about religion. It's about relationship, and my relationship, as far as being a human being on this earth who loves God, wants to live, wants to experience him, in fullness here on this earth. Just like David did. Just like King Solomon did. Just like Jesus did. He just kept talking about the Father, the Father, the Father, the Father, the Father, the Father. And I think it was a blueprint for humanity to follow. A will and testament for us to receive healing. Deep healing, the kind that only God can do. Deep diving, deep healing, okay? Going back to Genesis, to the beginning of us. God healed me. Yeah, give me that new. For everything I lost, I thank you for the new. I thank you for the new beginning. All because relationship. When you think about cups, relationship. Jesus told the woman at the well, if you knew who I was and who my Father, was, you'd be asking me for a drink. You'd be asking me for this cup. And she was the one with 5 husbands and been married 5 times and was on her 6th one. He was like, invest in me. Give me a drink. He asked her first for a drink. Give me a drink. Invest in me. Invest in a relationship with me. And see if I don't open the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing in your soul first. In your soul first. And then it's just going to grow from there. See the sprouting? Yeah. New life. New life. New life. He gave her a whole new life. She was no longer thirsty because she drank from his cup. Spiritually speaking. Was in relationship, intimacy. Intimate, spiritually speaking and maturely speaking. Okay? Using Schmex as a analogy. However, with maturity. So don't be silly. It's not time for that. To be silly. It's time to be serious. Seriously thinking. Right here we got, what it say? Balance between worlds. Foolish dreamers live in a world of illusion. Foolish dreamers. All right, you say, play silly tricks and win silly prizes type. Yeah. Yeah. Foolish dreamers live in a world of illusion. Wise, mature, wise, realists with that 7 of Pentacles. Okay, that groundedness. You know that it's not about just, wishing upon a star and beepity boppity boop and, saying a few things and then everything changes. No, that is not what Miss Aquita talking about. If it look like that, that's not it. Let's go deeper. You got to sow them real seeds in real time. You got to do those real things, okay, that are Christ-like. You got to be a certain way. You got to be mature. Be. Before God does this. He can't put new wine in old wine skins. See? Those people who ain't did no work. Old wine skins. Used to be a time too where it didn't matter. You didn't have to do the work. You didn't have to actually be a mothering in order to be respected. We respected our elders no matter what they did, what they didn't do. That's your mama, that's your daddy, that's your this. But we not in that time today. Today, that's over. That's, dead and gone. Dead and gone. Yeah, you got to actually be. Nose itching. I'm on the money. You got to actually be for God to do. You got to be. You got to be proof. Receipts. Okay? Okay? You got to be in a relationship. You got to have it. A relationship. You can get one at the last minute, like the man like the thief on the cross that came to his senses at the last minute, 11th hour, with that diving deep. Yeah. But you can't play. This is not no game. This is serious. You can surrender. Okay? Leave that old way of being and doing in the nick of time. Okay? As long as you got life, breath in your body. You can decide to sow differently. Do differently. Be differently. Think differently. Act differently. Be patient instead of impatient. Where your emotions all over the place. You know what I'm saying? It causes you to do things that God gotta get his staff and his rod out to spiritually discipline that immaturity out of you. Because when you spiritually immature and emotionally, this is what it produces. Sorrow. Everywhere you go, everywhere around you, everything you do, everything you touch, you just be doing stuff that brings sorrow and disappointment and heartache and heartbreak and regret and grief. We healing that. Christ is healing that. We're cooperating with him that we will be healed from that. Ain't nobody got time for that. Okay? It's happy day. Oh, happy days. The sun is here. Okay? The sun, his light, his clarity, his wisdom, we wise. Yeah, he putting us up on game now. He's sowing into us. He telling us what we need to know, what we need to do, how we need to be, do. Yeah, he walking with us. He walking with us. He told the woman at the well what she needed to know, how she needed to be, what she needed to do. So God could meet her in the middle. When you're in between worlds and you're making a decision, what you gonna do? God said, what you gonna do with what I gave you? Are you gonna live and not die? Are you gonna live and not die so you can testify? about all that he did. God did this and he did that and he did that and then he did this. Then he just came through and did that and I'm right behind him. I didn't even know that. He just doing it well. It's happening spiritually, so it's just all around you. But what you gonna do with what he gave you? What he gave you? The talents, the time. You don't want him to show up and you ain't did nothing. You had an attitude, well, I thought you were a tyrant. Well, I knew you were a tyrant, and so I didn't do anything. I just buried it. I just buried it inside of me, in the sorrow, underneath the sorrow. I didn't do nothing with it because I was afraid. That means you don't have no relationship with God. You don't have no relationship with God thinking like that. Right? Because he's not a tyrant. The woman at the well told him, he was telling her, I know all about you, woman. And still love you. Because I see your heart. I see your heart. I see your maturity. Maturity enough to tell the truth. And shame the devil. I have no husband. And ones I've been dealing with are spiritually impotent. So I have no husband. I don't know what it is to be sown into in a way where I actually produce something of value. Something that can last long term. Let alone eternal. She had to be mature in relationship with the Son of the living God in order for her to be able to, reap the benefits of trusting, of investing in that relationship with him. I'm going to tell him the truth. I'm going to tell him the truth. I'm going to just tell him I'm going to just admit it. I'm going to just accept it. Yeah. Making peace with her past. That's what she was doing, making peace with her past. And in doing that, it enabled her to let go of what could have been, almost happened. It didn't. Okay, sometimes you just gotta get a slap, It didn't. It didn't happen. It didn't happen. This happened. This happened. Okay? But we can get out of that if we what? Acceptance. Let's read what it say. Acceptance. The future looks brighter as you release the past. As you release the past, the future gonna look brighter. As she was telling Jesus the truth about the matter, whatever happened, grieving over it. She talking about how the people treated her, in the church, you know what I'm saying? Or in the religion of Christianity. Well, it wasn't even Christianity then because Christ hadn't even, done all he was going to do for that to happen. But so it wasn't even Christianity. It was just religion. Okay. It was just really a religion. It had nothing to do with relationship, just rules and regulations. Okay. She telling them about all of that. Just telling the truth. What are you doing asking me for a drink? And y'all don't have no dealings with us. And you know what I'm saying? But I know I have a spiritual inheritance because this is Jacob's well. And he was okay. She knew I'm supposed to be in there somewhere, even though I'm a half breed. I'm supposed to be in there somewhere, even though I'm half hood. I'm supposed to be in there somewhere. Okay. Even though I'm mixed. Hybrid, whatever you want to say. I ain't got time for these spiritual prejudices, is what she was saying. She was wailing. She was wailing at the well, wailing, just sorrowful about this, and I'm sorrowful about that, blah, 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 blah. But she was sowing in relationship with Christ by telling the truth, and you know what I'm saying? And then at the end, she said, after he told her, woman, there's coming a time, wipe your eyes, okay? Okay? Wipe your eyes. If you accept me, acceptance. If you believe that I'm the Messiah, that you don't need to look no further. I am here. I am he. I am it. Baby, I'm the one. Have a baby by me, baby. Be a billionaire. Be a joint heir. No, I do not want to be a billionaire. I want to be a joint heir. Because this is spiritually speaking again. I'm going to need more than money. Okay? I'm going to need what Christ had. Stuff just coming out the sky when he asked for it. Okay? Yeah. I'm going to need more than the pinnacles. I'm going to need this to be in the spirit. Okay. Spiritually speaking. Okay. When money is no more. Okay. What I'm going to do then? Okay. When they talk about bowing to the beast, or you can't eat. I'm going to need, okay. I'm going to need what he had. I'm going to need to be able to say, go to the fish, go to the ocean, and the first fish that come up, okay, and get the tax money out of his mouth. Yeah, I'm gonna need that joint air joint. Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to break bread with him on that level. Okay. Yeah. Light my fire. Get me going. Yeah, I'm gonna need it. So I accept. I accept. I let go. I let go. I let go of that. I let go. I release it. And I accept. I want to have a relationship with you. Give me this water, she said, the woman at the well. John 4, the Samaritan woman. Give me this water so I'm not thirsty ever again. I'm going to have what I need when I need it. I don't have to depend on the world for it, or the people in the world for it, who just keep disappointing me, okay? Who just, you know what I'm saying? It's just one loss after another, one regretful agreement. No, I accept you as Lord over my life, okay? Lord over my life. You the Lord of this land, and I want you to be the Lord over my life. I want you to make things grow. I want to be in a relationship with you where things grow and they prosper. You understand? Because I invest in my everything into having a relationship with you and with the Father and with the Son and with the Holy Spirit. Yes, that's what I want it. Give me that. Give me that joy I can't explain. Give me that peace that surpasses all understanding. Give me that calmness when all hell breaking loose. I can remain calm. I'll be the one with the wise counsel. That's why God been telling me that wisdom is the new wealth. Wisdom is the new wealth. You know who to get with. You know who to be with. You know who to do what with. Because if you don't, you're going to be broke. You're going to be sorrowful. You're going to be broken. I got a word out here. One of the cards out here. It reminds us saying that, oh my gosh, where is it? It says, Lord, Holy Spirit, what is that scripture? Here it is. Thank you, Lord. I put my hand right on it. It says, unrelenting disappointment leaves the heart sick. But a sudden good break can turn life around. Come on. That's a breakthrough. A sudden big break can turn your life around. Okay? Yeah. Now, once she got that relationship with Christ, he stayed there in the town with them 2 more days. But the relationship she had with him was forever. Okay? Forever. Her life changed massively. Forever. Never the same. Because it was spiritual, right? 7. Spiritual. She did something in the natural, but from her spirit, okay? From the pureness of her heart, okay? That affected her is supernaturally. Look here, I'm looking at God like stirring the cup. You know what I'm saying? Jesus poured into her in relationship. She telling him, pouring into him, telling the truth, confessing her faults, okay? Telling him about the sorrow, confessing her faults, telling him about her fears, all of that, her foes, all of that. But sincerely and honestly and genuinely, sincerely, childlike, like innocently. Give me this cup. I don't want this. I don't want these cups. I don't want this no more. Because it ain't doing me no good. Just making me sorrow, regretful, disappointed. I don't want it no more. I want give me what's in your cup, Jesus. I want pure and living water. Okay? I want that holy water. I want that pure and living relationship, emotional relationship with you and God and the Father. And what you say? Yeah, say those are who, this is the harvest. Say harvest. Jesus was harvesting. Oh my God. Thank you, Holy Spirit. Jesus was harvesting the harvest, the wheat, the true worshipers. He say those are who the Father seeks, because that's who we can sow into. If we was land, and we are earthen vessels, ain't nothing but dirt and water, okay? And his spirit, okay? And the spirit of him on the inside of us, and he breathed the breath of life, and man became a living soul. Okay, this is what I'm saying, man. Y'all around here setting y'all souls, your soul to the devil. For what? For what? For some bull, for some disappointment, for some regret, for some, okay, for some grief. Losing everything. Loss and grief bring deep sadness and mourning. See, that's why God say he got to go deep diving for light. We diving deep because it's the sorrow is deep. The woman said at the well, she said, because Jesus say, if you knew who I was and, you know, who my Father was, you would ask me for a drink, right? And you would never thirst again, because it'll be like a spring. Like I said, it's forever. That relationship, something spiritual happens where it's like a spring of fresh and living water just coming up for you anytime you need it. Jesus is just there. Even if it's through something happens supernaturally. You hear something, you heard something happened, okay? To where you get what you need. He provides for you when you become his. When you tell hell, which is sorrow, you understand? When you tell hell no and accept him as the Lord over your life, you try and do what he talking about doing. What is you talking about doing? Acceptance. It says forgiveness and recovery. Yeah, he causes you, he forgives you. He forgave the woman at the well. Okay, you good. But now we know about it. Because you know what God told me one time? He said, it's not the fact. He knew we were going to sin. Okay, we were born in sin, shaping in some form, type of iniquity. He said, it's not the sin, and it's the hiding. When you don't want to tell him, when you shunning, when you trying to protect the darkness, you shunning, you doing like that at the light. That's when you got issues. That's when it's a problem. That's when you should be afraid. Okay, that's when people like that, they're afraid. Because you know why? They ain't got no God in them. No God, no light in them. They without the light and really like it like that. Let's be honest. It says no God leads to nowhere. It's a school of hard knocks for those who leave God's path. A dead end for those who hate God's rules. That's Proverbs 15:10. And let's just make it plain. Just say the rule was, don't kill, don't steal, don't destroy. Okay? Don't kill, don't steal, don't destroy. They hate those rules. They hate those rules. They like causing sorrow. They like people be looking sad and grieving and wanting and needing. And there are some people in this world I've come to learn in my 55 years of being here that love that like that. That's what it means. Misery want company. Devil wants you to be in hell right with him. And acting like you having a good time. And then want you to act like you like it. Like that. But the sorrow comes from not being partnered. This is toxic. Okay? Dirty water. Murky water. Undrinkable. Water can't even drink it. Okay? Dead sea. Dead sea. Dead emotions. no emotions. No God, no emotions. No God, no life. That's why I say no God leads to nowhere. No God. Cain did not have no God in him. Okay? No God. Because when you killing, yeah. The light is out. Okay? There's no light. It's just pure darkness. Killers. Murderers. Thieves. That will, my grandma used to say, if you steal, you'll kill. What she used to say? If you steal, you'll it was like three things. Like one of them I'm forgetting. What would she say? If you lie. If you lie, you'll steal. And if you steal, you'll kill. And it's the truth. It's the truth. Cain stole Abel's life by killing him. And then lied to God when God say, what have you done? Where is your brother? He said, am I my brother's keeper? You supposed to be, nigga. You supposed to be. You supposed to be. Okay, but you up here being nonchalant. You understand what I'm saying? Talking to God any old kind of way. And that's why God gave him that rod of correction and drove his butt out of there. You got to go. You got to go. Okay? This ain't your land. That wasn't your son. That wasn't, you didn't give him life. Who are you to think you could take it? You could swap destinies. That's what it was. The ultimate. The first. Just like in the garden. The Satan was trying to destiny and did. And did, nigga. And did. Let's talk about it. And did. Destiny swap. Ninja. Y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like I say, that hood is in there. And I'm just being comfortable. Okay? I don't mean no harm, whatever. I mean culturally speaking. Y'all know the word nigga means ignorant. Okay? In the term that I'm using, context that I'm using it in, ignorance. Just ignorance. Okay? If you just think about it like that, maybe you won't get offended. Ignorance. You so ignorant for you to say that to God, to answer that way. First of all nonchalant, no respect. Yeah, that's what God said. Oh yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go. You gotta go to nowhere land. Because you ain't got no God, no me. I am not in you. You cannot live with God. You cannot live with him with all that hell. Hell can't live in heaven. You cannot be in his presence. It's like he allergic to it or something. So no God gonna lead you nowhere. He say go. I put a mark on you so don't nobody mess with you. But yeah, they gonna know you was put out. Okay, because going on over there with all of that. Can't afford to have you here. Taking over. You taking lives. Taking over to that extent like you God. You see the spirit? The same spirit that happened in the garden. You know what I'm saying? Where God told them, don't eat from the tree or you're going to surely die. Now, they didn't die. Their relationship with God did, though. It was different. Okay? Because before that, they was divine beings. They were immortal. They were immortal. Death wasn't supposed to be nowhere in the picture. But he told them, if you eat the tree, you're going to see less of me. Okay? In my divinity. You're going to see less of me. There going to be some things you ain't going to have. You'll have life, but not the abundant life, the more abundantly life that I plan for you. You weren't supposed to have no pain when you bear children. That was going to be just can you imagine how many of us with no pain? Man, look here. The idea that God had in his mind. The plans, he said, I know the plans that I have for you to bless you. To give you a hope. Not no killing, not no stealing, not no lying, complaining, disrespect. None of that was supposed to be in the picture. But here come that old seducing serpent. His way on in there. Slithering his way on in there. Into the atmosphere. See, the first consumption was listening to his words. Shouldn't even have no conversation with him. Some people can't even have no conversation with. Okay. Because the first consumption, she consumed his words. She consumed his ideas. You shall not surely die. Now you calling God a lie. But it was sweet though, the way he said it and all. You know, you shall not surely die. He's such, I'm going to give him his props. He is such a marketer. Okay? He always telling you, try this and have some of that. And don't never tell you the end of it. Okay? He don't tell you that the end ain't going to be nothing, nothing, nothing. You hear me? Nothing like it began. But he always got an offer. See, because he want to be like God. He wants to be, he's such a copycat. All of this is healing. God just troubling the waters, okay? Yeah, getting us to feel about a thing the way we need to be feeling about it so we ain't stuck in nowhere land with nothing and no God. No God, no love, no pure. This love is toxic, poisonous even. And the devil will want us to stay and to, you know what I mean, cohabitate and cooperate and you know, co-create. More sorrow on earth. More regret, more just things where it's more regret and more disappointment. Oh yeah, on a global scale. More loss, more grief, more disappointment. That's what he want. Partner with him so you can have that. A partner with people. Okay? In this school, this life of hard knocks. Partner with them. Travel with them. Go down the path they going down. It say for those who leave God's path. This is a path. This is a path. See, he finna make a way. A path. Okay? You can go that way, this is you. You the we. Or you can go leave the path and go with them towards the dead end. Boop. Boop. Can't go no further. Just limited. Boop. Poverty minded. Limited. Boop. A dead end for those who hate, all because you hated God's rules. Didn't want to do what God didn't want to love. Didn't want to be patient. Didn't want to be kind. Didn't want to do right. Be upright. You want to be impotent. Let's see what that say. Blockage. Yeah, like I said, boop. Okay, where the sorrow? Yeah, boop. Want to be blocked. Boop. Follow them. Go be boop. Block. Can't go no further. Can't do no more. No. Unlimited. Limited. But unlimited sorrow. Unlimited regret. Hell. Hell is unlimited now. Ain't got no bottom to it, you know. It's going to always want you to kill, steal, destroy. It's going to always want that. Take. Want more and more and more and more and more and more and never be filled. Just still sorrowful. Like a drug addiction. You feel me? Drink and drink and drink and drink. Smoke and smoke and smoke and smoke. You don't never get high. You don't never get happy. And some people out there like that. You ain't gotta be. You could do some accepting around here. Okay? You can accept the Son into your life. Okay? What the man say, the thief on the cross, and say, you shall, well, after he confessed his faults, his sins, yeah, he said, I'm a thief. I admit that. I'm a thief. This man ain't did nothing though. This man ain't did nothing to nobody. His whole life. Ain't did nothing to nobody. He said, I deserve to die. I deserve to be hung up here, strung up here. I deserve it. And after that relationship, after him investing in that, telling the truth, you understand what's changing his heart, changing his mind, accepting what he was and receiving the forgiveness, God said, you shall lift up your eyes in paradise with me, nigga. That's recovery. That's recovery. He recovered all that was important. Okay, you're going to lift up your eyes. You're going to leave church clothes. Just imagine that. Just imagine that. Childlike faith. You're going to close your eyes here and open them there in paradise. His loving kindness is better than life. I sung that over my brother when he was in the hospital. You know, he was in a coma for 2 weeks before he actually passed away. And I sung that song over him. Thy love and kindness is better than life. I didn't even know why I was singing it. Well, like a song, I don't know, but this was the song that was coming up to help him cross over. Just tell him, you know what, fool, where you going? We called him, nickname was Kung Fu, so we called him Fu. Where you going, his love and kindness is better than anything in this life. So, honey, you can just let go. You can accept it. You can let go of this and accept that. Thy love and kindness is better than life, and my lips shall praise thee, and thus will I bless thee. I will lift up my hands in thy name. Yes. Because thy loving kindness is better than life, better than life. My lips shall praise thee while I live. Because thy loving kindness is better than life. My lips shall praise thee while I live. My lips shall praise thee. My heart shall bless thee. You understand what I'm saying? What you gonna do with what I gave you? And I told him, he was in a coma. I say, I know you can't move your hands. You can't do nothing with you right now. But that heart's still beating. That heart's still beating, boy. That heart's still beating. Talk to him with your heart. Think about him with your mind. Okay? Engage with him with your soul. This is how you accept. This is how you receive. When you can't say nothing with your words, because he couldn't talk, he couldn't do nothing. But while I was doing that, a tear rolled down his face. And I remember my daddy. Oh God, here we go. My daddy and my granddaddy. My daddy and his daddy was standing there, and my granddaddy said, look at that. Because his soul was responding. Couldn't get up because it was time to go. Couldn't get up because it was time to go. But I was showing him how to get there. I didn't even know that's what I was doing, but God was telling me, usher him in. I thought back into this life, to this realm. Okay, I did not. My mind was not thinking. I was ushering him into nowhere else but right back here with me, my only sibling. I want him to come right back here and be with me, and let's keep on living. But that was not the plan. God said you gotta release it. Acceptance. You gotta accept that it's time up. I'm finna harvest this wheat. God was telling me, I'm gonna take him. It's time for him to go. And you gotta let him go. And he was showing me how to let him go. God is so good when you in relationship. Help me. If that was one time out, girl, y'all don't even know. Help me, God. To be as real about this as I can be. I don't even know. How do I let him go? We was 4 years apart. But it was like my baby. I've been taking care of him, watching over him, looking out for him since he got here. I don't know how to let him go. But God was showing me. He was showing me how to let him go. Sing songs over him. Engage with him. Keep engaging. Keep engaging. And I could see that he was responding. And guess what? After he passed, I'm going to say 3 months after. It was a little bit. I was grieving one day. One day I was at my apartment and I was just crying and grieving and screaming and just really, I just worked. I worked all through it. I worked all through the grief. I didn't really deal with it. I just worked. I just kept working and working. I owned a residential and commercial cleaning business at the time. And I just worked and worked and worked until I couldn't go no more. Till I had to accept. I just avoided looking at the fact he was gone. You know what I'm saying? And somebody asked me about, we didn't talk about it. They knew not to talk. Don't talk about it. Don't talk about it. I ain't ready to talk about it. But that day came. And through that crying and that grieving and that rolling and that screaming and the phone rang. And I remember it was Toyota, you know. And maybe, I don't know, maybe they were saying, we just call and let you know a payment is due. Because, sometimes when you grieve and you forget about those things. You know what I'm saying? Those things. But anyway, I was like, okay, I'll send it. It's coming. Blah, blah, blah. And she said, are you okay? And I told her, I said, I just lost my brother. Blah, blah, blah. So, God was making a way. Opening the door. For me to meet Christ in the flesh, like in the spirit. Somebody who was Christ-like, who wanted to listen, okay? Who wanted to help me in that moment heal. Who wanted to carry some of that grief so I could make peace, okay, with the past, with the passing of my loved one, okay? To help me let go of what could have been and what I felt like should have been. And he was just 23 and all you had to do was breathe life into him and he still beat. Yeah, I went through it. But guess what? This lady testified to me. She shared with me in relationship and told me, she said, you know what? We talked, then she hung up and then she called me back. And she said, you know what I wanted to tell you, God told me to tell you, is that 10 years ago, I was in a coma. 10 years ago, I was in a coma. And she said, I just wanted you to know that during that time, I could hear everything that was happening around me. I could hear it. I just couldn't respond with my body. But I could hear them. I could hear them talking, all the conversations, da-da-da-da. And that was what I needed to know, that I wasn't just talking. You understand what I'm saying? That I wasn't. That was the depth. Talking about diving deep for light. Okay, in that moment of accepting that I have lost truly one of the loves of my life. Nobody has ever loved me as pure as my brother. You know what I'm saying? And nobody ever been as close, shared the same trauma, just everything. Love of my life. Okay? Oh, it's right here in my hand. Might be like you looking for something that's right in your hand. The phone was right in my hand. It was a phone call away. God made a way for this lady. It is a coincidence that her testimony was just what I needed to hear. I mean, how many people you run into and say I was in a coma? And this came over the airwaves. Okay? Phone call. Okay? But when you calling on him, when you pouring out in sorrow, calling, sharing, engaging, letting God hear all about it. Your sorrows, your troubles, that's why I was telling y'all, he's real. He's real. He answered. Okay? Him answering, having that woman to call me, share that with me, that testimony with me, so I could get a different perspective, so I could look at things in a different way, so I can know that everything I was saying, he was hearing it. Everything I was saying, he was able to accept it. Because I was really concerned. Okay? about what was going to be, what the fate was going to be at the end. Is he getting a new beginning? He going to lift up his eyes in paradise, or what? Or what? I wanted to know. I was very concerned about that. Even before he passed away, God let me know. That's a story for another day. But I'm telling you, before my brother passed away, this is how with us God is with his children. Okay, this is not with everybody. But with those that are his, you're never alone. Even in his moment of transitioning, everything I said, that lady was letting me know he heard it. He heard it. He heard it. Everything I was pouring out, everything that I was pouring out, hoping that he would accept and be able to receive. Fool, just talk to him with your heart. Because I knew he had, before he passed away, I called him first and said to him, it was so supernatural. It was so supernatural the way that it happened. It was so supernatural the way that it happened. But God was letting me know. I would be driving to work. I told you I own the residential and commercial cleaning business. I would be driving to work. And it's hit a certain spot on Phillips Highway, Jacksonville, Florida. That's where I'm from. And we hit a certain spot on the day after day. I recognized the pattern. Day after day, I would just go into a yo-lo-lo-lo-lo-lo bullshit. The same tongue. Yo-lo-lo-lo-lo-lo bullshit. Whatever it was. Lo-lo-lo-lo-lo. What is? Till I paying attention. Okay? God was trying to tell me something. He was, hey. And I never, it would just be the same tongue. Every day I hit a certain spot on Phillips Highway. And I thought the other day, the reason why it was Phillips Highway is because that's where our roots are at. Okay, my great-grandmother's house was off of Phillips Highway, Jerusalem and White Avenue. Okay, his people, his daddy, and their family, you know what I'm saying, was from Phillips Highway, we grew up in Emerson Arm, okay, our first primitive years, okay. His people, his daddy's people, right around the corner from my great-grandmother. What do they call that over there? South Side. Okay? People that's from Jacksonville know what I'm talking about. South Side. Okay? The projects right over there by, right around the corner from the school. Was it Douglas Anderson? It's a drama school now. I don't know if it still got the name. I think it was Douglas Anderson. But anyway, y'all that know, you know what I'm talking about. I would hit the same spot. And God told me. So one day I called him. I said, listen. Look here, like the phone. I say, listen, I don't know what y'all got going on over there, but you need to get your house in order. I knew that. I didn't know what this was. God was dealing with me about, tapping me about, trying to tell me about so I could tell him. But I said, I don't know what y'all got going on over there. But you need to get your house in order. You better go to somebody's church. I was religious then. I wasn't, you understand what I'm saying? I just told him what I knew. I was like, you need to get your house in order. A little bit, okay, so then I told him that, and that was that. Months go by, right? Say 2 months go by. I don't even know the time frame. Next thing you know, he shows up at my house. Which was not normal. Because like I told you, I was heavily religious, heavily in the church. And you know what I'm saying? We were not in relationship, like tight. You know what I'm saying? Because I was over here trying to do this. And he was over there. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, it's just so much, y'all. But listen, he came to me and he said, Queet, what I need to do again? He said, because I've been having dreams I've been seeing my funeral. Okay? He said, God been dealing with me. That's what he said. He said, God been dealing with me heavy. What I need to do. Okay? He was saying, what must I do to be saved? Because something, you're right, I do need to get my house in order. My house, my state of being, my house. I need to, whatever I need to do it. Because God been letting me know I'm finna leave here. And then 2 months, maybe say 2 months after that. Okay, because I forgot about it. So then mama called me and like, you need to get to the hospital, fool at the hospital. And she said, it's bad. She said that. She said, and it's bad. It's not good. It's not good. Okay. She told me all that before I got there. Got there. He already in the coma. He done had a asthma attack. So suffocation, because he done chewed up his tongue. It was bad, y'all. It was bad. And here we are having to process. Never did wake up. Okay? Never did come out of that coma. Next thing you know, he had hospice. Next thing you know, okay, 2 weeks later, he was in the hospital for 2 weeks. God, I thank you for the time that you gave us those 2 weeks. He gave us 2 weeks to say goodbye. Okay? We had to get our house in order. God help us to let them go. And I remember me and my mom was on the phone and he was at hospice and I had been believing God. My grandmama, child, she was mocking me. She was like, child, she think he gonna go. She think she finna go in there and raise him from the dead. If possible. You got doggone right. If possible, I'm believing to that degree. Because I would definitely, death wasn't on my mind. New life. And I said, God, I thought you said you was going to save me. Say, I did. What difference does it make whether you're on this side or that side? I got it. Talking about when you got to let it go. And this last relationship was so hard for me to let it go because I wanted him to live and accept and come and be so bad. So I had to, here it was, 7 years. 24/7. I was a housewife. God gave me 7 years to really deal with it. And when I realized that this relationship was it was in the red, it was not going to make it, I had to let it go, accept that it is what it is. It's finna die. It's finna die. You finna get a divorce. You ain't even married. You got to accept that. You ain't even married. Okay? It ain't even real. It's a whole illusion. That's why it's disappointing you. That's why, you know what I'm saying? It's unrelenting disappointment. That's why you just keep, because it's dead. But we going to deal with it. We going to heal. We going to deal. 7 years to deal with it. And to accept. Be mature and accept. It is what it is. Okay? He's a blockage. So you got to let it go. Yeah, it's stopped up. Nothing can't flow. Can't go. It's impotent. Spiritually speaking. There's a spiritual blockage and you got to let it go. You got to let him go. And y'all, I'm telling you what? It wasn't easy. And only God. Only God. Help me to let go. He says, the Ace of Wands reverse says setback, obstruction. Obstruction. Due to the blockages. Constipated. Spiritually speaking. Constipated. None can't flow. He wasn't in acceptance. Stayed there. Sorrow and I can't and whatever it was, blockage. And I had to let it go. I had to accept. With the Five of Cups in reverse says, the future looks brighter as you release the past. Optimism overcomes. Optimism, the sun. The sun. Optimism is sun. Sunlight, sunny. Optimism overcomes darkness or despair or sorrow. Optimism. Had to look at it. Accept it. It is what it is. Yeah, I told my mom, I said my brother was at hospice, and I was like, I just can't keep going up there watching him die. I said, Lord, if you're going to take him, and if you're going to raise him, raise him. And as soon as I said that, my mama said, hold on, it's the hospital. And God took him. They was letting us know he just passed. And I really believe that he passed. Well, when we let go, he let go. Or God, said so. Okay. We dove deep today, y'all, for that light. For that light, for that sunlight. Not just any light. Follow the light, Caroline. Not just any light, but that sunlight. Jesus Christ, the Son of the living God. That light, source, light, the source of everything. See? It says set aside time, okay, for self-healing, for the healing of the self. You have to do that. You have to do that. You have to put in the work. You have to set aside the time for self-healing. You have to welcome and allow the healing to flow. Okay? You have to do that. Allow it by accepting. You have to allow it to flow. You have to allow. God is not going to force his way in. He's not here to spiritually rape nobody. Okay? No. You have to accept. You have to receive his love. His loving kindness. Okay? That's better than life itself. Yes, it's better than life. You're going to reap more than you sowed. Trust me. His loving kindness is better than life itself. It's paradise. Okay? It's life and that life more abundantly. It's heaven on earth. But you got to heal that self. Because he can't put new wine in old wineskins. Old way of thinking, old way of being, old way of doing, old limited. Following that path, limited, a dead end for those that hate God's rules. Okay? There's a method. There's rules. There's a way to go about being and doing. God gonna give you something you can share. Okay? His love is so overflowing. Oh my God, you could share it. All those people that left Egypt when they was exiting out, that was a lot of people. But when you allow him into the situation, he who is potent, he who is what? He don't just have a big ego, he can back it up. He is God. He's God. And that's just the way it is. Okay? He don't need her. He don't need him. He don't need us. Altogether, he don't need them. He's El Shaddai. He's Elohim. He was there when it all began, and he'll be there after it ends. Okay? Okay? He gonna be there. The beginning and the end. Alpha and Omega. Huh? That's what you want. Accept the healing, the love, the sun's light. Accept it into your life. Optimism overcomes despair. Sunlight, optimism. Okay? New ideals, new way of being, new way of thinking, new way of operating. So that you can give birth. So that you can give birth. Okay? Me and my brother, we have a new life. Sometimes I'll be in here talking, I'll be like, fool, did you leave that dollar for, did you have Zion to find that dollar on the ground? I'm just saying, it's spiritual now. I still communicate. When it comes up or come upon me, my grandmama too. My granny too. But the one I go to, okay, talking about this is not ancestral. Okay, I don't ask them. Okay, I might conversate with them, but when it come to asking, seeking, and knocking for wisdom, knowledge, understanding, whatever else I need, I'm going straight to the source, to their source. Okay? The Son of the living God. He who the Son sets free is free indeed. I'm going to him for that freedom, for that life, for that love even. Yeah, because people be here today or tomorrow. Here today, gone tomorrow. Go to that source, that sunlight, that powerful source of healing energy, inner God. God in you, your hope of glory. Christ in me, my hope of glory, my hope of harvesting, my hope of being forgiven and receiving the forgiveness and being able to forgive. Come on. And being able to forgive. Forgive even life itself for having death in it. Just forgiving. Being able to be forgiven. Being able to recover. I can't do that without Christ. I would have never been able to recover without God intervening in my life so many times, time and time again, whenever I need it. I'm just a testimony. I'm just a living testament that he is alive. He is not, ain't nothing dead about him. Okay? Nothing dead. That water is living water. Living. Those emotions, that caring, that kindness, that loving kindness is living. It can be in your life as soon as you accept it. And you're going to see results. Okay, for me, it was a phone call from somebody that said, girl, and I could hear everything. I was in that same situation. I'm out of it now, but I could hear. I just want you to know. God just wants you to know. He could hear you. He could hear everything you were saying. He could hear everything you were singing over him. He could hear it. He could hear it. Yeah. So now I can accept. That helped me accept it. That helped me to accept it. That I wasn't alone going through that. God was divinely intervening. Spiritually, things were happening. He was making that connection. He was maturing on his deathbed for 2 weeks. Funny is 2 times. Okay? Full moon first of the month and another full moon, blue moon. Blue moon. Yeah. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look like blue moon shining on. Yeah. Yeah. The light of the moon. Blue moon. Yeah. Something happening right here, right now. God's gonna trouble the waters. Your emotions. I've been just emotional the other day. I was like, what is not breaking all the way? Not being naked, transparent. Yes. Something is happening beyond us. God is intervening, allowing. Normally I'd have kept that. Blockage. I'd have kept that. But God allowed me to accept that somebody needed. Somebody need to see you be human and divine at the same time. Somebody need to just see you be real, just be raw, just wise realists. Right here, y'all. Wise realists plant their feet on solid ground. This is the foundation. Solid ground. Relationship with Christ. Solid ground. And crown with knowledge. Okay? Because the experience that you done had. Things you done been through. Now you know what God will do. In this situation. In that situation. Wise. You say wise counsel. Wise realist. Jesus was a realist. Okay? He was telling Peter, they finna do this, they gonna do this, they gonna do that. And Peter was like, okay, being a foolish dreamer, living in a world of illusion. No, Lord, that would never happen to you. You say, oh, you get behind me, Satan. Oh, it's gonna happen. God done told me. Okay? Wise realist. It's gonna happen. It's real. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go through this, I'm gonna have to go through that. They gonna do this, they gonna do that. Okay? And I've accepted it. That's my cross to bear. Okay? My brother gonna die at 23. You know, he not gonna get to meet, you know, his nieces and nephews. I mean, he met my oldest. I think my oldest was I got a 30-year-old. He was 4, okay, at the time when he passed. And even him, he said to my mama, because my mama, okay, she grieving, she crying, and my 4-year-old said to my mother, Mama, he said, Nana, Uncle Fu got to go to heaven so he could breathe. And my mom was like, She accepted it. Because out of the mouth of babes, she accepted it. That made her feel better. Okay, you right. Sure do. We do. We can't breathe here. Can't breathe here. He can't. But if he go, but when he cross over, when God give him that new beginning, he gonna be just fine. Even though we so sad. But we can't stay in that sadness. We got to accept that it is what it is, okay? God, like, you better be thanking me. You need to be thanking me that I gave you 23 years because he was sick when he first got. He came here sick with respiratory issues, okay? Could have just took him. You never met him, had nothing with him. No, nothing. I gave you 23 years and he had one son. One son. He left one son behind for us to enjoy. Okay? And the memories that you have. Okay? Better start getting optimistic. Looking at it the right way. Okay? Acceptance. Looking at things the right way. Whatever you got going on. Get with Jesus Christ like the Samaritan woman did. Good woman. She was a good woman. Okay? Just lost. Homeless. Just, I don't know. But I ain't hitting right. Everything I do, okay, unproductive. Every seed I sow, unproductive. It's time to evaluate whether your current path for this said path, is truly yielding what you desire, okay? Wasting time. When it's in reverse, it's wasting time. Giving up. Something you need to give up to. Give up on. Because it's wasting your time. Accept that they like this. They cool with it. It's okay for them. They don't want to be optimistic. They don't want the light. They don't want no sunlight. They like it dark. Don't turn on the light like roaches. Just leave the lights out. I like doing dirt in the dark. Things that produce that. Sorrow. Grief. Loss. They like sowing stuff like that. Things that just going to be unproductive. Just what it say? Foolish dreamers live in a world. Foolish dreamers, they live in a world of illusion. 7 of Cups, 7 of Pentacles. They doing stuff thinking what? It's insanity. You're not going to get nothing, but you're going to reap what you sow. That's what 7 of Cups. You're going to reap what you sow. Whatever you sow, whatsoever a man soweth. That's what he going to reap. Whatever you put in the ground, whatever you put into the situation, whatever you put into the conversation. If you ain't put nothing into the conversation, you just done wasted a bunch of time. You ain't going to have nothing productive. You're going to be what? Spiritually impotent. That's what spiritually is, unproductive. It can't have no babies. It can't grow a family. You understand what I'm saying? It can't produce no happiness. Come on. Because this is what the life we letting go of to help you. Maybe you look at it like that. Volatile. Dealing with somebody who's volatile. Be mindful of emotional power plays. Or passive aggressive behaviors. Okay? Emotional power. Beware during this full blue moon all this week of emotional power plays, okay, and passive aggressive behaviors, moodiness, coldness. That's because that's what we getting rid of. That's no Christ in that. No Christ in that. Just you ain't gonna be able to have no good relationship. It's gonna be unproductive. It's blocked. It's blocked creatively. Water, creative. It's creatively. God can't do nothing with it. It don't want to open up. It don't want to let God in. It like being sorrowful and sad and unproductive. They cool with that. Yeah, they like wasting time. What's the path say? These people, this right here is on a dead end. And you either gonna dive deep for the light, go through that darkness, dive deep into the soul of yourself, and decide if you gonna flip this script so you can, you understand, be in the upright, be productive. Receive that healing if you're going to accept it. He's offering it. He's offering you his cup. Do you want it? He's offering you his backing, okay? His seed. Sow in your garden. He gonna give you things to do. Give you talents. Show you what to do with your talents, with your time. With, show you how to invest yourself. Huh? All you gotta do is receive the help. Just receive the sun's light. And you can be living a life of healing and health and all of that. You don't have to live in sorrow like other people are choosing to do. You can choose to let go of the woulda, coulda, shouldas. And you can make peace with your past and your passed on loved ones and receive and stop being mad at God about it. And find something to be grateful for. Start a new conversation with him from a mature point of view. Okay? So he could do something new. Okay? Reward you. Give you a harvest because you accepted it, because you received it. Okay. I swear, y'all, that was the first card. 2 hours on that. First, just one card, 2 hours. But anyway, it was a good 2 hours. It was every seed that was sown, everything we talked about, every song that God brought up. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Fruitful, helpful, good for the soul. Okay? Good for the soul. And I'm going to stop this and start the next one, okay? Love you guys.